Entry-level task. First is wildcard certificate. So generally, you know that organizations, every organization have their domain. Let's understand the concept. Okay. So let's say company having a domain called bt.com. Okay. Now specific applications name is sales.bt.com. Okay. Some applications his name is tech support.bt.com. Some application name is HR payroll.bt.com. Got it? Now tell me.
So these are the different domain, right?
No. These are the different application. This is the company name. Under this company name, this is also application. This is also application, and this is also application. Every application needs certificate. Got it? Every application needs certificate. So how many times you will create certificate? First certificate will create sales.bt.com, HR payroll.bt.com, tech support.bt.com. Okay. If this internal certificate, then fine. There is no issue. But think of it. If this is an external certificate, external site, if this server, if these sites are applicable in public domain, that means internet. So then you have to purchase internet certificate, that means public certificate. Got it? Clear?
Yes.
See, general ratio I'm telling you, each company 70-30 ratio. That means 70% application is internal and 30% application is external. Now, if the application is external, that means you have to procure certificate from external vendor, like VeriSign, like Symantec, like DigiCert, like Komodo, like QoverDs. So these are the third-party vendor for those who can procure certificate for your external application. So your company right now 3 applications they have onboarded and they need certificate. So you have to purchase certificate for this time. You have to purchase certificate for this time. So you have to purchase certificate for this time. So if you tell your finance manager that we need to purchase 3 times for 3 different applications, so every time your company will bear the cost. For external I'm telling you. So if this is internal, then no meaning. You can create any certificate from your systems. Okay, so that is a totally cost free. But whenever the comes of external certificate, then you need to give them every time. So why not you create one certificate with the name bt.com, so that the certificate can fit here, can fit here, can fit here. So you purchase one certificate and that certificate can fit here, here. Got it? And if you have a hell lot of applications, every application that certificate will fit. It's called wildcard certificate. Is that clear?
Yes.
So in this wildcard certificate, we'll procure the certificate with name start.
So that recording is on, right?
Yeah. Start.bt.com. So that means whatever before bt.com will accept it. So the certificate will accept whatever the applications before bt.com, the character, number, whatever it is, it will accept that certificate. It's called wildcard certificate. So interviewer can ask you question. Do you know what do you mean by the wildcard certificate? The strict answer is yes. The wildcard certificate, it's a basically certificates which is we can procure with the company domain name, and whatever the C name, that means common name will be there, that can be accepted by the wildcard certificate. Why? Because you procure the wildcard certificate with start.company domain. So whatever address or CNAME before bt.com or before company domain, it can be accepted by the certificate. So the benefit is to save the cost while you procure the external certificate for different application. Is that clear? Understood?
Yes, yes.
Now question is how we can do it, how we can create the worldwide certificate. Very good. So for that only we have to open our practical console.
Hello.
Okay, my DC is up. Let's start the ADCS server. As I tell you, you can first, while you create the certificate for external, because wildcard certificate generally people do for external procurement. Okay, so in that case, yes, I will tell you both internal and external. For external cases, you need to generate the CSR. So first I am telling you how to create CSR with wildcard parameter. Then I will tell you how to create wildcard certificate for internal usage. So both these cases I will tell you. Okay, so I am logging with service account that we have created earlier. Now what we need to do, we'll create CSR with the parameter start dot. Okay, clear? Clear?
Dot or what means? It is an extension or what?
Yeah. Like this, start dot. We'll first create the CSR file, certificate signing request, and that certificate signing request we will send mail to our external vendor. Every company having their own vendor. Someone DigiSort, someone, verifying any public site. I'm telling you now, if you go with, let's say, I'm telling you, our reputed bank in India for this, SBI Online, they are using DigiCert. If you go to SBI Online, the key sign there, just click on it. Sorry, lock sign. See that, DigiCert, got my point? Issued by DigiCert. So these are the public key vendor. That means for external certificate company. Got it? This company is worldwide registered for patentship if you need a certificate for external users. Got it? Because internal CA server cannot be reachable while the application is on public sites. What exactly that someone, the simple question can ask, you are telling that application hosted in publicly, very good, but why not we can secure the application our internal CA server? Then I say you, no, it's not possible, because if your internal CA server cannot be reachable application, those who are the external user connected from the internet, because there is a firewall band. Got it? So once it is not reachable, this certificate is invalid. Got it?
So it means, what I understand, the certificate which is issued by the external, it is a digitally certified by the option which you show me, right?
Exactly. So now the external application, you have to procure the certificate from external vendor. So all of the certificates are reachable through publicly. So if you procure the certificate from them, then it easily saves you from this world. Clear?
Okay.
So that is why public site application, they need a public certificate. Internal application, they need internal certificate. Got it? Here.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's prepare and create this CSR file. Okay. So for that only, you can create CSR from your machines, or you can create CSR from your Active Directory certificate server. As you know, both I have already shown you. So let's say if I go to MMC. And MMC will select file, add, remove, snapping, certificates. Personal certificate. Here you are not going to create certificate. You are going to create certificate signing request, and that request you can save it as their own patent format, or you can save it as notepad as per your choice. So for that only, go to all task, advanced operation, create custom request. Do not forget that options. Create custom request for CSR. Now this time you cannot go with your Active Directory enrollment policy, because we are not gonna create this certificate for our internal policy. That certificate is totally created by some other company with organization unique policy. I mean organization general policy. So for that only, you have to go configure custom request, proceed without enrollment policy. Got it? Click on next, and you have to select okay. Actually, there is no options because we have not created any public site templates. Okay. So do one thing, you can create that. Anyway, so I'll show you from Active Directory Environment Policy with, let's say, webcom. Okay, you select webcom. Next,
What is the web? What is web form?
webcom templates we have created earlier for web application.
Okay, okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Now you can, now instead of common name, you cannot put any application name. Instead of common name, you put star.bt.com. Got it? And same thing you have to do it DNS.
So that star dot means star is the mandate, right?
Star is the wildcard character. So anything
Wildcard. Okay. It means we are representing wildcard by star, right?
exactly. Even
Okay.
even if you're in BCA, while you are doing BCA, you learn C++, C, right? So there,
Yes, yes.
there
Even in the command prompt as well, there's an option for wildcard, right?
yes. So wildcard means anything you can add before the character will end. So wildcard you putting before bt.com, that means anything we add in bt.com will be accepted. Clear? So now you can put country, as I told, it should be 2 characters and other information. That's it. Click on apply. Okay. Next. Save this file. That means wildcard certificate. Desktop. Now the same CSR file you have to send your external vendor. Okay. External vendor to your DigiCert or VeriSign.
So that's from where you get this notepad file?
Sorry?
From where you get this notepad file means
I just save that file now. I just save that file here. Now this is actually it is actually here. The format, it is type of files, it's not the notepad. So that is why I'm opening it through notepad. Got it? Now this is becoming CSR. Clear? Clear?
yes.
So that CSR file you have to send your public vendor, because every company have their own PKI vendor. Because when I was in Cognizant, their vendor was Kiovathis. Prior to that in Accenture, there was Symantec, VeriSign. When I was in Wipro, there was a DigiCert. My current organization is using Entrust. Okay. So every company having their patent vendor. So that vendor, you have to send them that CSR, they will procure that. But tell me, I'm just telling you one thing. Right now, I do not have any policy created for without enrollment. Got my point? I do not have any created any policy for without Active Directory. That is why, because I show you create CSR with Active Directory enrollment policy, but that is totally wrong, because I was not created any policy without enrollment. So every company, when you are going to procure the external certificate, always choose with these options, and they will tell you what exactly the template you have to select. Right now there is no templates assigned, that is why I go with these options. That means, you know, Active Directory enrollment, okay, this option. But while you are doing
one question, if you are not providing any template, so it will take by default template, or what happens?
No, that is I'm telling you. While you are doing external certificate procurement, never go with Active Directory enrollment policies, because this certificate not relayed by your Active Directory, neither Active Directory will take care. So you never go with Active Directory enrollment policy. You have to go with custom request. That means proceed without enrollment policy. But unfortunately, I do not have create any enrollment policy, because here it options configured by you. Here we have to create one enrollment policy, then only that templates will be shown there. Got it? Clear?
Okay.
So next, whenever the company will give you the opportunity, Mohammed, create one CSR file for external procure certificate. So you give the details, what are the other information needed, because wildcard certificate we know that is the value we need to put while start dot domain name, and what other information we do, you copy this part. Now we'll procure the certificate, proceed with enrollment policy, and then we give you the templates. Which template you have to select. Based on that, you will click on next and create the CSR file and give them to your vendor. Clear? Is that clear?
Oh, yes.
Now my question, if you want to create wildcard certificate for your internal vendor, I mean internal domain, that is very simple. Click on all task, request new certificate, next, same as usual Active Directory enrollment policy, okay, next.
Okay. So when we choose internal, we choose the Active Directory option, enrollment. If you are not using external, then no need to choose Active Directory, right?
Yes. So because you are creating internal certificate, got my point? Now, any template you choose. If you are going to create wildcard for your computer, then you choose computer template. If you are going to create for web template, then you select web template. Now after that, you have to do some amendment here. Put the same things here, common name, star.bt.com. And always never forget to give them DNS, because if you do not give them DNS, then Google Chrome will having problem. So always give that, start practice, always script the DN in Google Chrome as well. Got my point?
Yes.
Clear? Perfect. And apart from this, what are the information they need? You put accordingly. Country code always, country name always 2 digit. Always remember. That's it. Click on apply, enroll. Now it's finished, we succeed. Now see how it's look like this. The certificate is look like this. You can use this certificate any web application. Got my point? Now see that. It's issued to start.bt.com. That means anyone under this bt.com, any application under this bt.com can use it. Clear? Is that clear?
What is yes sir? What is serial number represent?
Sorry?
Once you click on bt.com, you will get a serial number there option, right?
It is a certificate
Yes, yes.
serial number. This is
Okay.
this particular certificate serial number.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
So I think you aware on how to create certificate, computer certificate, wildcard certificate, right?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Our next topic is auto enrollment. So let's understand the concept. What is auto enrollment? Okay, because this is very, very important. So generally, whenever in a specific domain, new computer added, either that particular computer owner will contact you, or Windows team will contact you. Hi, I'm calling from this particular division. We have recently procured 2 computers, and we need the certificate for each computer. Can you give us that? Now, every time computer create, and if you going to afford every time computer create and they will ask you manual certificate, then fine. If you are not going to afford, I am not possible. Every time I cannot give you the certificate. That should be automated. So you can automate that task, that whenever the machine join into the domain, certificate will automatically procure. Is that clear? This automation called computer certificate auto enrollment. Got my point? Computer certificate auto enrollment. So first of
Can you
all,
repeat again Siddharth once more?
yes, I'm telling you. First of all, tell me why we need computer certificate. Why we need computer certificate?
Computer certificate need for the run any application in a secure mode with a secure.
Exactly. That means whenever users are connected any applications or connected to the computer, if the computer was certificate procured, let's say, see, I'm telling you inside the domain. You can ask question, say inside the domain, because as you told, my domain was secured by firewall, my domain was secured by some centralized firewall team. Then why we need certificates? My question, any kind of hacker, if already there in your domain and he is just waiting for the opportunity when he can jump and crack all those tabs. So that is why all these domain controllers, all these servers, all these computers must have certificate installed. What my point? So that whenever any users are connected and work, this session was encrypted. What my point? This session was encrypted. Now my question, is that clear?
Yes.
Now my question, any new computer come here, then again their team, as per the organization policy, they will contact you to edit him. Hey, we have just installed the new server here. Can you kindly create the certificate for that computer? So every month they are creating 40 servers, 20 servers. Again they will decommission. A different project, they need a different server. So every time will you afford to create the new certificate? If you have a bandwidth, then fine. If you do not have bandwidth, then do some automation now. That means whenever machine join into the domain, certificate automatically procure. No need to create manual certificate. It's called certificate auto enrollment. Clear?
Siddharth, I understand this, but one question.
Yeah.
So whenever anyone join in that domain, okay.
Sorry.
Any computer join in a domain, so
Uh-huh.
what kind of certificate they required? So how it decided by the automatically?
See, computer need computer certificate, user need user certificate. Simple.
Okay.
Web application need web application certificate. File encryption need EFS, encrypted file service. Simple. So whenever computer join into the domain, so domain enterprise architect will have some automation so that machine will automatically join to the domain and certificate will automatically deploy with the same computer name. So that part I will show you. Like what? Like manually, like that is our member server. So when the member server will create it, okay, let me show you manual things and then I will show you automated things. Clear?
Okay. So right now this computer created and you can procure certificate from inside of the servers or you can request editing, so they will create certificate from ADCS server. Anything you want. Now my question, both editing or you will do manual effort. Okay. Both editing and do you will do a manual effort. This certificate you see now. Right now there is no certificate. What you need to do? You will just go to all task, request new certificate, next, next. And give your computer name. What is your computer name? Host name, number server, click on apply, enroll. So certificate was created. Now this is called manual enrollment, right? Now I will show you after you join the machine into the domain, the certificate will be automatically renewed. Just you update GP update force or something like that, the certificate will be auto renewed. Clear? So let's do one thing. Is that clear, Mama? Yes.
Let's do one procure one computers and then I will show you the automation part.
Okay, leave it. So it was building. Meanwhile, what we need to do, we will do the settings. Okay. So for that only, we will select comp templates. Okay. We will select comp templates. So for that only, I will open gpnc.nc. Sorry, I will open it from domain controllers. For that only, you have to go domain controller. You can create separate policy, or you can edit your domain controller policy. Okay. So as your choice, because whatever you have to create, the policy need to align with your domain. Okay. So existing the policy there, so you can apply that same, or the default domain policy what is, you can edit that part as your choice. You can edit this policy, or you can create new policy. What you want? Shall I edit you this existing policy, or shall I create new policy and align this policy to the domain? Because both the policy have to added on domain, because the domain wide, all the machines join into the domain, they will have the auto enrollment certificates. So a policy will be applied on domain. So you can edit any existing policy which is applied on domain, or you can create a new policy, and after create you have to align this policy to the domain. So which one I'll do? Tell me. Shall I edit the existing one, or shall I create the new one and align to the domain? What?
I think you need to edit the policies.
Okay, perfect, no problem. The domain policy here, okay. Basically, I'll first tell you the domain policy. What kind of policy is this? So the domain policy is only for the computer configuration. There is, as you can see, there is no configuration safe for users. So it is not at all user configuration. So it is all at all computer configuration. So very good. We can edit this. So let's do one thing. Click on edit, and then you have to go computer policies, Windows settings, and then security settings. Once you do the security setting, there is the options public key policy. Got my point? So in this public key policies, there is the option certificate service client auto enrollment. So certificate service client, that means all the client machine will get the certificate auto enrollment. You have to click on these options enabled, and you have to check these options: update certificate, renew certificate, and additional store use, something like that, multiple store example. So that you no need to renew, no problems. You can click on apply. And next is what? Click on this, and there is the options automatic certificate request settings. So here you have to create one policy. What policy? A policy is for computers. That means all the computer will have the IP certificate policy, not domain controller. I'm telling you, domain controller obviously have domain controller auto renewal policy. That also you can do. But this time I'm creating for server and computer, not for domain controller. So keep it in mind. Now click on next. Properties. Or you can create domain controller as well. Okay, let's see whether it is applying or not. I will do here CMD GP update force.
While using a flash force, we can also use GP update only, right?
Yeah, you can use GP update. If you run the force, then it will be run on gracefully.
Hello.
It will run on gracefully. Got my point? So I'm deleting the certificate, and then later on I will do GP update. Let's see the certificate will be done or not. Okay. So my existing machines, member server, the existing certificate I have deleted. Now I run the GP update and let's see the certificate will be automatically generated or not. Got it?
Okay.
Now let's see which policy is applying on that particular machine. That is very important, because I have created the policy and that policy is not applying. Then what is the benefits? And let's do the RSOP and let's see what are the policies applying on that machines.
This command is used for checking any policy or this particular right now?
All the computer, if the computer users machines are applying policy, all policy you can change. So select on properties and you can see that default domain policy and properties, nothing as such. Very good. Let's see the policies applying. So let's say go to MMC and see that certificate procurement, it's done or not. Did you see that? Did you see that? Last time I was deleted. Again I am doing delete. Again I am doing delete. Then I am just seeing GP update force. Let's see. Now see that. So my next machines, which what we have installed, once the machine will join, you can see the whatever the computer name I have given, the policy will become accordingly. Computer name is test2. Okay. Let's restart. Done? Got it?
Yes.
So I will bring them into the domain. So for that only, what is my domain credential IP config? 10.10.10.10. Very good. What was the account name? CSCS. So now once I log in, let's see the machine. If you do not run the GP update, no problem. But after some time, when the policy will be automatically applied, you can see that certificate will be automatically there. Okay. So go to that.
Okay.
And see. Now see.
Yeah, it's created.
Got it? So this is how you can enable the automation to your across the domain, that whenever the new machine join, the certificate automatically deployed on that particular machines. Clear? Now see,
Yes.
the explanation date is 10/6/2020. 2022. Yeah. Clear?
Yes, Siddharth.
So this is very vital. Do the practice, or else you will forget all those stuffs.
Yeah, it's required a more practical.
So next we will do user, like this is how this is how computer automated enrollment policy as you have done. Now I will do automated for user certification. Got it? Now I will do automated user certification. So this implementation is quite different. So let's understand the concept. The concept is, like as you know, if the hacker already hacked and he's waiting my environment and he's waiting for jump. Let's say a snake already there in your home. You don't know. Somewhere, some cabin or somewhere in top of the almari, there is kill. It's just waiting for the moment. Whenever all light off, he will just move around, and any person from here, he will just bite and move. The nature of the snakes like that, right? So now each of your room is door locked. Each of your room is door locked, and each the persons is well maintained jacket equipped. Is that snakes ever bite them? Is the snakes ever go inside any room?
No.
Is that snakes ever go inside any computer? No. That is how it's a implementation for secure each computer, each server, each domain controller, as well as each users. So that domain hacker, if they hack my domain, they cannot do anything. Got it? They cannot do anything. Let's do that. For that only, I must go first in Active Directory AD, and then I'll prepare one group. Okay, let's create one group. Sorry. Just simple user policy have created one group. Okay, and this particular group, I create certain users. Like first user is Azam. Second user is Anand. Okay. Now the group we have created, user policy, I have to add them, that persons over there, because I will apply the policy on that particular group for security setting. Okay, clear?
Yes, yes.
Azam, Anand. Done? Very good. Now next is what? Next is I'll go to ADCS and create one templates. certificate authority. You have to go certificate authority. Whenever you are going to create template, you have to go certificate authority. Now in certificate authority, you have to go manage, create a users. Okay, so let's search any user templates. Yeah, make it duplicate template. First you have to make them name. That means USR. My certificate name is USR. Okay. And
So that why we creating duplicate here template?
because this is the template, you cannot use this built-in templates. That is why.
Okay.
Because built-in templates, all the permissions you cannot amend or cannot modify it, right? That is why you need a duplicate, and from there you have to change all your settings. Clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Now I'm telling you, while you are choosing that templates, remember what are the fields you are adding here. Like you are adding here is user principal name, that will automatically create it, you don't need to worry about it. Now here extra field is email name, got my point? So if the users do not have email, then that new certificate cannot be procured, got my point? So either you, while create the users, you have to give them email, or else you have to uncheck these options. Clear? Clear?
Okay, so if user don't have the email name, so what is the alternate way?
That is what I'm telling you now. While you are creating the certificate templates, you can disable email from there, or else while creating users, every users you have to maintain their email name. If you do not, if you enable email option there, now you are, while users are creating automatic certificate, all certificate will be failed, because new users, they don't have email. Because let's see, like all times you not aware that user email ID need to create. Like what? Like simple, while you are creating the users, like see, I have created Azam, I have to give them Azam mail IDs here. If I not give them Azam mail IDs, whereas in signature this option checked, then certificate will be failed. Certificate cannot be created. That is why I have to disable this option. Either disable the options, or I have to mention mail ID here. Now which one is feasible? Every time you will put the mail IDs, or better to stop the mail ID too? What?
Stop the mail ID.
Exactly.
Because what happen when new user joins, so they don't have a email ID. That will also create a problem, right?
Exactly. So that part you have to done. So next is server options, blank. Certificate options, nothing you need to do. Key attestations, nothing you need to do. Cryptography, nothing you need to do. Request handling, allow private key to be exported, very good. General, that part also done. Compatibility, nothing you need to do. Subjected name, nothing you need to do. General, nothing you need to do. Server, nothing you need to do. Extension, nothing you need to do. And security. In this security, you have to add that group, user underscore policy, right? Because these templates must have the purpose of this particular group, or else the policy will not be created. Because policy auto enrollment will issued by this template, and this template having the group, if the group don't have access, so that cannot be created. Got my point? Clear?
Yes.
Either you can give them this group, or you can add domain user full control, anything you want, right? Some people cannot give them domain user full rights, so then why specific group required. Or if you give them domain user full rights, then no need to add the same user policies like that. Got it? Got my point? So then After that, you have created, I think, USR was created. Very good. Create and issue. Now you have to issue that USR. Very good. The publish USR. Now again you have to go group policies. Okay. In this group policies, see, now here you have to create one separate group policy. Because in domain, in default domain, the group policy, there is no group policies for users. So you have to create one user policies, because company will not allow you to anything modification on domain default domain policies. So better one, create a separate group policy for certificate users and align that users to your domain. Okay.
Okay.
User underscore certificate. And where you have to just click on OK. Now you have to first edit these options and enable the settings, then you have to align with domain. Edit. Now it is a user's configuration, don't go computer configuration. So go to policy, Windows settings, security settings. Now in security settings there is option public key options. In public key option there is option certificate service auto enrollment. Click on enable. Okay. Renew expert certificate, update pending certificate and remove revoke certificate. Check off these options. Next is update certificate that use certificate templates. Use these options. Clear? You can option display user notification for expiring certificate user and machines my store. Click on apply. Okay. Then there is no such things you need to do in here. Your policy has been done. Now next is what? Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm just coming after taking water. Just a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Now what you need to do? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Now what you need to do? You will just go and run the command. Force. Got it?
Yeah, successfully updated.
Perfect. Now log in any machines with users. Like I'm logging with Mohammed. Okay, Azam. Now this time I'll go to MMC. Add remove snapping. Select certificate. This is a user certificate, okay? Okay, then do GP update force. So GP update. What happened? First policy should be applied. That user are normal users, not domain admin. So I have to run as administrator with domain admin credential. Let's see. MMC. Okay, let's say I'm logging with CSES. Let's see. Let's see RSOP applying on. RSOP.msc. Where is my policy applying? And how come certificate is generated? How to troubleshoot? Any idea why this apply policy not applying? Why this policy is not applying? Because I was not allowing any The policy was created, but it is not applying any OU or domain. Got it?
Yes.
How you do that? Just go to scope. Now scope. You have to add this. vt.com. Or do one thing. If you are not able to do it here, just scroll this and align with vt. Now see that scope applied. Clear? Then
Yes.
run gp update /force. Now I'm logging with log off with Azam. Log off, then login. Again I will do RSOP. Access denied. Yeah. You only see the user configuration, that's it. Properties. Now see user certificate applying, right? So clear?
Yes.
So let's see, you have to go MMC files, add remote snapping certificate. It will open as a certificate user. Now go to personal. Now see, Azam certificate was created. So let's log in with Anand. Same apply. Let's see, run rsop.msc, because this is the command. Interviewer can ask you question. How will you know the group policy, specific group policy is applying on users or computer? The option is RSOP. Okay, rsop.ms. But remember, the users, only users, if those are not a domain admin, then every time he will see that access denied options. Access denied means he cannot see what are the policies applying for computer, he cannot see, but what are the policies applying for user, he can see. Okay. So what are the policies? What are the policies? What are the
Once we
policies?
add bit.com, it will reflect, right?
Sorry.
Once we add Anand in a domain, bt.com, then it will reflect the certificate, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now let's see the properties. Yeah, it is applying for Anand. Let's see. MMC. Files add no snapping certificate. Sorry, two time I have. Personal, no see. Certificate was issued to Anand, issued by this, that's it. Clear? The very
Yes.
three vital topic we covered today, and this is very, very, very important. It's a purely L3 level activities. No one, Azam, I'm telling you, no one, if you go anywhere to learn Active Directory, no one will tell you the in depth of this particular, because nobody know about the certificate ADCS ADFS until they work. Clear?
Yes, I know.
So these 3 practical we did. So next week you can come for the practicals. Okay? Because what are the remain things, please do the practical, please do practice, or else you forget everything, I am telling you.
Yes, sir, I understand. I will start very soon.
One practicals you already allocated. Why not you are utilizing it? Got my point? I tell everyone, because you are paying for that. Why not you are getting one practical? Clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Then next week we'll meet on Sunday.
So now the topic certification is covered or is still pending now?
No. Last topic is certificate migration from 2012 to 2000.
Migration left now.
Yeah. Last topic remain is certificate server migration from 2012 to 2019. Clear? So in certificate migration, in next week I will show you in 2 phases. First phase, I will migrate the Active Directory from 2012 to 2019. Then I will create another certificate server. Before certificate server joined with the domain, I will take backups of the old certificate server, registry, backups, what are the things, component should be backup, I will take it. Then I will decommission that server, permanently decommission that server. And then I will add 2019 certificate server, install role, all those stuff since scratch. After that, I will install these servers with old private key, old certificate server. Okay, and then I will restore that certificate servers. That's it. Clear?
Yes, got it.
Perfect.
Yeah, please share me the video.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Siddharth. Thanks for that.